studies. There I worked 3.5 years. It's a banking domain. It's a for phone banking, we have net banking, mobile banking, like that. It
Okay.
is a phone. If you want to do any banking related things, they can call to city phone officer. In call itself through IVR, they need to provide the credential. Based on that, they will validate and then they can do any transaction or anything in banking related things. Then I moved to PCS. Last 3 years I'm working here as.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, do you have experience with microservices?
Yeah, in last 8 or 9 months, we are working on the microservice. Already we are having the Spring Boot application. We are migrating to microservice now. So we are working on that. It's an implemented phase in non-cloud now.
Okay. So, what do you mean? What do you understand by cohesion and coupling in the case of microservices?
Coupling, if you are using monolithic application, that a client and the server will be coupling. If you are sending any request, now it will go to any, we need to use any FL client or something. So then only it will go, and it will be a hard code of URL. So that is a highly coupling. So client will have the all the information to server with a hard coded value. That is uh, a monolithic application. In microservice, we have a discovery client. In that discovery client, we can store all the endpoint URLs. Dynamically, it will get the URL. No need to hit any time for the URL. It will catch in client side itself. So that we can use for
So, do you
microservice.
have discovery client or discovery server?
Sorry, discovery server we have. You when we are using another Spring Boot application, that we need as a client. We
Okay.
need to use
So,
as a
is it a like in your application, in your in your microservice architecture, you must have service discovery. Okay. So, is it
yes,
service server side service discovery or client side server discovery?
it's a server side discovery
Okay.
because we are using open source only now. That Erika server as a service discovery. We are storing all the endpoints there.
Okay. So, what is the advantage of having service discovery at the server side, not at the client side?
We can store all the endpoint URL in the server itself. We can use multiple client Spring Boot application. If we want to use any of the URL, we can get it in server itself. It is easy, right? No need to hard code anything.
Okay.
So based on the microservice name, we can get it the value. So
Okay. So, and which technology you are using for service discovery?
which technology means Erika server you are asking, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Erika server only we are using. That is a Netflix earlier developer. Now it is open source.
So, how does this Eureka service discovery works?
For that, we need to add one dependency, Erika server dependency.
Mm-hmm.
Then we need to add in main method enable Erika server. Then it will act as a server. Then we need to do all the endpoint arthritis discovery server like that. We need to go add one more annotation. Based on the annotation, we can store all the values in a server itself, like discovery server itself. The default port number is 8161. If you are opening localhost with that a port number, we can see all the endpoints URL. What are the microservices we have? If you have each Spring Boot application, if you are giving some application name in properties file, then we can see the properties name. Like if it is a like we can take it employee department, employee service. Department service. If you want to call that one, instead of that URL, IP address and port number, we can call that name itself.
Okay. And how does this load balancer have you like using load balancer as well?
Yes.
So, how do you
In
implementing this load balancer with service discovery and everything?
discovery client, we are using some other Spring Boot application. In the Spring Boot application, when we are calling to discovery server, that time we need to use annotation, we need to use load balance annotation. Then when you are requesting to getting the endpoint URL from user side, it will one time if you get now, it will be catch like one we can example, we are having the telecommunication domain, so we are having SIM order functionality, port in functionality, port out functionality. If any one of the server is failed now, we need to take another service, right? We have a cluster system, like a 2 or 3 system for SIM ordering, 2 or 3 system for porting. So two different endpoint URL will have. If you are using load balance now, if it is not reached one server now, it will automatically fetch the URL from the another server. So we can avoid that breaker.
And how these application, where exactly these applications are registering themselves for
In
the
Erika server,
for other services
cloud,
to discover it?
in Erika server itself.
Eureka server.
Mm.
Okay, so how this registration and deregistration of the services happened in the with the service registry?
If you are using one client, Erika server client in other Spring Boot application, then it will automatically register in a server.
Is caching
If you want,
possible?
if you don't want, then we can add it in properties file. Like this is not we don't want to register in Spring Boot application. In registry, now we need to add one parameter like Erika's discovery client, like that false we need to do. Then only it will not happen. That is the T registration.
So are you using any messaging service like uh, are you using Kubernetes or Kafka, anything, RabbitMQ, anything?
Let me check in some.
Sorry,
Sorry, what you are telling?
are you using any of them, Apache Kafka or Kubernetes, RabbitMQ, anything?
No, no, no. Kubernetes we are not using. In future, we have planned to do. We are about to work on containers for stuff. Once it is done now, we will create a lot of containers. So we have two to three different projects. If we want to deliver is fast, then we need to use the Kubernetes. We are into work on the workshop. It is planned for next 2 to 3 weeks after.
Okay.
It is an implementation service. It is not live. We are working in a development phase.
Okay.
So non-product, we are almost we are 50% completion. So we need to complete the remaining things, and then we will go for the other like containers, Kubernetes, everything.
And are these applications are Spring Boot applications?
Yes.
Okay. So how you are managing exception handling in these applications?
We have a global exception, like we can create one global exception class. In that class, we can annotate like a REST exception, API, AOP advice like that. In Spring Boot application, in any of the applications are getting any error now, we can throw to that like we can throw the illegal exception. We need to define all the exception in that global exception itself. So in our project, how we are doing now, that is everything is a REST API link only. For upstream, we'll send the request. If any errors now, it automatically we will throw the error. Then it will capture in global data exception class itself. There we need to annotate for the each exception, like exception handler annotation. Then it will automatically taken. So if you want specifically for this some class, then we need to define in that class itself, like exception handler method we need to create. Then it will not go for the global. So common method we can define in global. For particular method we can define in classes.
Okay. And what about the security? How you are managing security in your APIs?
Here we are not using any security for Spring security. For login, we are using. We have one application. Application we have login. That login we are integrating item integration, so like a LDAP integration. So we have a item team, AD server. We will request the user everything, the username, password, everything store it in a item server. So in our server, we will implement the LDAP integration with one URL and port number they will provide. Based on that, we will get it that certificate. We will install it LTAP certificate. Then there is a connectivity will be enabled. Then whatever name we are logging into server, automatically it validate in item enter.
Okay.
So the after validation only it will go inside. So security side means like we are whitelisting some stuff using cross origin functionality and whitelisting in server level. What are the, like that we are whitelisting also.
Okay.
See, this is not a public based application. It's a three network. Like a three network means our client is 3G. They are called it as three only. So we have a three network. In the three network only we will do it. That's the intra network. It will not call it pro outside of the network. Internet.
Okay. Your voice is very slow.
Oh, sorry.
Now it is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of security, do you know like how JWT and OAuth 2.0 works?
You are asking what OAuth, right?
Yeah.
What it will work based on the tokenizer. We need to get based on the tokenizer. We can validate whether it is a valid external URL or invalid external URL, like that we can validate. I for that, but we didn't implement in our application. We will implement in later because we need to do test and pen test also. Once it is completed, that time it will be come in a picture, like they will test everything, security vulnerabilities, everything.
Okay.
That time we need to implement that JWT work, everything.
And how do you are managing the testing in your application?
We are testing manual testing only. We are not using any tool. We are
Manual
doing
testing.
unit testing as a manual testing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so
And
are
then component testing also we are only doing. Earlier we had a separate team for component testing. After that, application team itself will need to do component testing also. Then functionality testing and end-to-end testing only testing team will do.
okay. And how you are writing test cases for the REST controllers?
We need to validate first the endpoint URL. Like each REST URL have some resource point, right? What are the what are the functionality we are going to call? Each and everything have some endpoint. That validation. So how we are validating that whitelist, how it is working. Then whether input and output is going correct or not. Like that only test case we will write. Whether input parameters correct or not, whether it is accepted format or not. Like we are having JSON format only we are using here. So that is a JSON format. If you are going giving XML format, now how it will react application, like that lot of test cases we have. So
Okay.
yeah, for functionality testing and this one, they will create the test cases. For component testing, we will create the test cases. Then testing team validate our test cases and their test cases. Based on that, they will test it in functionality as an end-to-end test.
Okay. So while testing any scenario, so are you hitting the database or creating in-memory databases, or how it will work?
Here we are using we are not using in-memory database. It will automatically delete the data. Here we need data every time because it's a telecommunication domains. We are getting all the a lot of allocation requests. Like allocation means if you are ordering some mobile number now, it will come from upstream. We are getting some request like for allocation. I need 5 numbers. Then our application will provide the 5 mobile number for. Based on the 5 mobile number, they will select then order, then they will associate with the mobile number with the SIM, like this flow.
Okay. Okay. And what is stubbing in terms of testing?
Stuffing,
Stubbing.
no idea. Stuffing,
And what is mocking?
no.
Okay, no problem. So how do you are deploying your application?
Now we have a UCT script automation. We have one DevOps team. They have already developed a Jenkins pipeline. Based
Again,
on
your
Jenkins.
voice is low.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have Jenkins pipeline. We have a separate team also for DevOps team. they have developed already UCD script as well as Jenkins, and
Mm-hmm.
we are using Nexus deployment also. Some of the customized code we developed, that is we deployed in the Nexus for storing the purpose, and from there we will deploy on top of APIs installed. So this one for jar file we are generating. The jar file we are sent to another environment through pipeline only.
Okay. And what about the ORM? So how do you are using, like, using integrating the database in your application?
We can use a JPA repository. The ORM is object relational mapping. So when we are using a Hibernate JPA implementation, then we can use that ORM only, because we are about to insert the Java object into a database, right? Without any independent database related things. So independently we can use. In future also we can change any database. We can easily change.
Okay. Okay, so I will paste something in the chat, and for that you need to tell me the output.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
I will copy
Can
paste
can
in
you
my
tell me output
note.
for this?
Yeah, yeah. I will copy paste in my notepad first. Right? I can't
Okay.
able to see everything.
Okay. Can you share your screen as
Yeah,
well?
yeah. Yeah, I will share. In M1B,
In M1B.
we are overriding this method, same method we are using.
Mm-hmm.
So base class it is overriding the parent class method. So same method name. So
Okay.
it is dot M. Okay, M1 method. Okay, in the M1B only.
So I'm pasting another problem in the chat. Yeah. Can you tell me the output of this problem?
One second. It will throw error.
Which error?
We can't use parent exception in base class,
Okay.
so it will throw error first.
Parent exception in
We,
the. So in
uh,
earlier problem there was no error. Do you have earlier problem as well with you?
Here, this one only, right? Index out of bound exception, index out of bound exception, array index out of bound
Yeah,
exception.
this one. So in this problem
Mm,
you haven't got any compile time error or runtime error. So why it was that?
because it is based on propagation exception, it is lower than the array index of out of
And
exception. So
also
if you
one more thing need to add here, that index out of bound is also a parent of error index out of bound.
okay, then here also we'll get a problem. We can't override.
Are you sure?
Sure. Base class we will not override with the parent exception.
So here we won't get any compile time error. Why? Because even though index out of bound exception is a parent of error index out of bound, but
Okay.
the rule is for compile time exceptions, and this is the runtime exceptions we are having here. Both error index out of bound and index out of bound are runtime exception. So that's why we won't get any error here.
Okay. Understand. Yeah.
Okay. So coming to core Java, can you tell me what is blank final variable?
Blank final variable, if you are not initializing any value to the final
Again your
variable, that
voice
is
is
a
low, very low.
okay. If you are declaring variable with without any values, we
Mm-hmm.
are initializing some final variable. Now that is a blank final variable.
Okay, so how do you initialize the blank those values later?
In constructor we can use. Inside
Constructor.
constructor only we can use that value we can assign.
And how
Whenever
this?
we are,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Tell me.
whenever we are initializing that object creation, that time constructor will call automatically. That time it will we can append the value for the blank final value.
Okay, okay. So how this memory management or garbage collection works in the Java?
For garbage collection, we have a finalist method. When we are calling with the system.gc, finalist is one of the object class, object method. So when we are using system.gc, if you are uninitialize any object, if you are not using some uh, variables like that object if you have now, when you are using system.gc, automatically it will call finalize. It will clear all the garbage collection. When we are coming to memory management now, then we can use for the static keyword and all, so it will save some memory.
Do you know how this there is a space in heap memory called Eden space? Do you know all about this? Young generation, old generation.
Keep memory pem size like that you are
So inside
asking,
heap memory,
in Tomcat,
no, not in Tomcat. So in
earlier when we are
inside JVM and like in Java, inside heap memory there are some space.
yeah, like
Eden
pem
space
size
is
like that it will
there.
come, one more size also will come.
So whenever you create
I
any
know.
object, it will go inside Eden space, and then it will go based on its need. It will go to the young generation, old generation. So scanning will happen, and after that, it will go to the other areas.
eh,
Scanning
I heard of
for the purpose that if it is still the object is still in used or not. So based on that. Okay, no problem,
here
no
this is
problem.
yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell me the differences between synchronized map and concurrent hash map?
Uh, Synchronous map we can use at the time one thread it will allow. So we can insert the data. We can't use concurrently adding the while adding the data. We can't modify the data in synchronous map. When we are using for concurrent map, we can add the data. At a time we can modify the data, delete the data. It will not impact anything. So synchronous for concurrent one thread at a time it will go. That lock will be there for resource. Concurrent it will parallel it will be.
Okay, so in have you used Java 8 as well?
Yes.
Okay, so in Java 8, if I give you a scenario, so you need to tell me. So how do you solve it in by using Stream API? Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
okay. So you have a list of employees. Okay,
You are going to type or I need to.
so no need to type. I am just giving a scenario and
Okay. Give me
I'm
scenario.
just giving a scenario and you need to tell me the how the logic behind that and how you will do that. So
Okay.
you have a list of employees and you need to find out the employees whose phone number
Okay.
is starting with +1.
That's all. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You need only logic, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or you can write the actual line of code you will do.
So for header setter also you need or header setter we can
Sorry?
make it. Header setter also bean class also do I
No,
need
no,
to
no,
write
no need
or
to write the bean. Just write the line of Stream API. You will do this in Stream API. So for that, you need to write.
already we have one list employee in list object. We have all the data like that we can print out. We have all the data. The employees have the employee ID, name, and phone number. Like that it will be there. So I'm going to take phone number starting with +1. Okay.
Yeah. So you have converted it into a stream. Okay, that's fine. Then after that,
Once again, sorry. Filter. This is employee, so we can take that. We can get phone number. Mm, start with +1.
Okay.
That we can get all the value. We have the phone number. Then we can store it in the array list.
So why you are writing this map e dot get phone number?
Whatever we filter in here in condition, we are storing into one object. That object we are returning only. We are getting the phone number. If you want to get only phone number, we can go with the map. Otherwise, we can get collected directly.
But this map dot get phone number, are you sure it will work? I mean, it will give the phone number.
Uh, plus one. Start with plus one. Then
So what
yes.
is the use of
Eh,
map method in the case of stream APIs?
we have multiple values. It will stream into one input.
Mm-hmm.
So for that we can use map.
But as far as I know, if you want to perform certain operation on the given list or any collection, you will use map.
Correct. I think we'll based on this condition, whatever value is coming, based on that we need to fetch all the filter value. We need to store it in one stream using map function. Then we need to add it in a register. Sorry, to list. Then we can.
So, like I think this will convert your stream of employees to stream of phone number. No.
Yes.
Yes, it will convert the stream of employees to stream of phone number, because this map will return
Eh,
this stream of just
yeah,
phone number,
and
because you are getting the phone numbers only.
yes, we can give E itself. Then it will implies all employees will come.
So, but filter will also give the same.
A filter we are why filter we need to filter
Uh,
based on the mobile number only, right?
no, but it will filter based on the phone numbers and give the employees back to you. So no need to write anything of like map or anything.
Okay, yeah, understand.
Okay. And what other features of Java 8 you have used?
We are using lambda expression. Then
Lambda expression.
optional class we are using.
Okay. And what is the use of lambda expressions?
We can reduce the line of code, and we no need to write a separate method. That lambda expression will act as a method, so it will not create any anonymous class. For that we can go, and it is fast as search also. We can have based on the arguments we can use very fast iteration also.
And what about optional class? What is the use of
Optional
optional class?
Optional class, in project when we are using, sometimes in database we are reading data. Sometimes the data will come. Sometimes based on condition it will not return.
Ye-
So null values sometimes come. So for that null handling, we can use optional class. Of nullable method we can use inside a optional class. Based
Okay.
on that, we can restrict. We can avoid that null pointer exception. For that, we can go with the optional class.
Okay.
In case of null values will not come, we can go for off method. If you
Okay.
know
Just a
if it
minute.
is any
Just
null,
hold on.
in optional class.
Optional class. Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
have two methods: off method, off nullable. We can use avoid the null pointer exception. We can use that off method.
okay. Okay. And what is the use of functional interface?
Functional interface, it is only abstract method it will be have not, that is a functional interface.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in that functional interface, uh, for the functional interface implementation, we can do through lambda expression. In
Okay.
functional interface, we have a lot of interface like what is that, consumer, predicate, and supplier interface like that. Based on that, we can fetch the values.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the difference between map and flat map in Java 8?
Map is useful for if you have data, it will stream into one output for
Mm-hmm.
that. Flat map, it will use map as well as it will flat into the multiple stream of values. Like if you have values 2 comma 3 and 3 comma 4 comma 5 and 5 comma 6 now. First
Okay.
it will map into one stream, then it will merge into all the stream into one stream. For
Okay.
that we can for the flat map.
Okay. So, and what is generics in Java? Hello.
Generics in Java.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that one. We can that if you are using list when we are going with a string or integer instead of that, we can use generic. That one you are asking, right? We can go with a generic type like object. We can use I heard of that one, but forget how
Okay.
to
No problem.
explain.
No problem. Yeah. No problem with that. Okay. So, can you tell me the differences between array list and a vector?
Factor, I don't know. Array list, I can explain.
Okay.
Array list, we can have a duplicate values. It will be insert into insertion order only. Like we can use it. This is a non-synchronous. We can use multiple instances. The default array factor is array list factor is default capacity is 16.
Okay.
Inside array list, we are internally we are using array concept only, but here it will automatically grow the size of the array. For that we
Okay.
can use array list.
And have you used any ha- sorted collection?
Yes, in stream we are using for sorting anything we
No,
are
no,
going
no.
to.
In
uh,
any collection which supports sorting as well. Do you know anything about that?
you are asking for collections or sort that and are predefined functionality or
No, just like array list or linked list or any other or has
mhm.
set, there is one thing which supports sorting.
Tree set,
Yeah,
hat set,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
has.
So,
Yeah,
what is the difference between hash set and tree set?
Hat set and tree set. Hat set is a unique values, but it will allow null value.
Mm-hmm.
When we are going for the tree set, it is also unique values, but it will not allow any null value. The
Okay,
main difference is this one. Yeah.
okay. And what is the difference between hash map and hash table?
Hash map will allow null key and null values,
Mm-hmm.
but hash table will not allow null key. It will allow null values alone. Then hash map is a synchronized non-synchronous. When we are going for the hash table, it is synchronous. It will allow single table. Then hash map is both are key value pair only.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that,
Okay.
same. Yeah, both everything same except the key null.
Okay. What is double check locking in singleton design pattern? Double level locking you also say.
Double level, no idea. But the singleton, we know we can create only one instant. If you are going to create one more instant, it will not allow. For
Mm-hmm.
that, we can go for the singleton. Singleton mainly we can use for a normal jellyfish connection. We can use singleton concept. It will create only one instant for datafish connection. That connection we can use for entire application. Like that, we can go for
Okay.
double thing. I don't know exactly.
So double level locking it is used in singleton design pattern to make it more thread safe.
Okay.
It is just basically two if condition put together so that
Hmm.
if say two threads checked for null at for any for any given time, two threads are checking for the object it is if it is null or not, and so that's why we use double level locking of it, double if
I,
condition.
Okay.